Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Matt's come with me. No. When do we start?
Hey guys, it's New Year's Day, 2018. I don't know if we're going to survive the night. This might be our last podcast. 2017 might be the worst year on record. I mean, there were all those celebrity deaths, but that's just because we all died in the nuclear holocaust.
Just going to say right now, you're gamey, and you're a little meatier than I am. I'm not afraid to eat you if the need arises for me to survive another couple of hours. I'm sorry.
I'll make sure not to use the bathroom.
Oh, thank you.
So that I release my bowels.
Spoil the
at
meat.
the last minute.
Spoil the meat, you asshole. Thank you.
I don't know. It's the end of the world. I don't know if we'll make it again. But boy, what a year in pop culture it was.
Oh, there were some highlights. And, well, if this is how we're going to go out, then, well,
maybe we all would have lasted longer if people supported our Patreon.
That's a good
you
point.
Can find over at patreon.com/editorsnotecomics if you want to give one last time to give us hope.
Yeah, because we need, had there been more money in the Patreon, we would have been able to build our doomsday bunker and stock it with food and
don't forget
dry
to find
goods.
me on editors, those places that don't exist anymore of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Oh God, my website's down.
I haven't been able to tweet for 2 weeks because my phone battery died.
Thank God that people subscribe to the Patreon and listen to that new show that's probably coming in like March or something, and will be early on Patreon by quite a while.
Well,
thank God.
Yes, there's hope yet.
For the smallest podcast network ever that I'm building.
There's hope yet. There's hope yet.
But what a year it was. Boy, in these last few moments, instead of spending time with my family and loved ones, I'm here with you. Which really, 2018, not off to a good start.
No, I guess being with you is better than being lonely. At the end. I'm glad that you're here with me at the end of all things, Zach.
Yeah, but if you were alone, at least no one would be making fun of you as I died.
Well, I'll get the last laugh when I piss on your dead body.
Fair.
But we got Star Wars.
That happened. That was a good time.
That was really nice.
As we spend these last few moments together, let's look back on 2017 as a whole.
Okay, let's do it.
That's right. It's time for the clip show of everything that came out in 2017. Remember Star Wars.
I liked Star Wars.
Oh, it's December. What a movie that was. It's Christmas time again.
Oh, Star Wars. Thank you for coming into my life. Oh.
All spoilers. Star Wars. Good times.
They continue.
Rey was a Kenobi. Who knew? Me. Definitely me. I called that a while ago.
I'm not overly surprised that she's a Kenobi, but I'm really, what really kind of struck me.
All those new Skywalkers that popped up and Luke just had to kiss them all because that's what he does.
Well, it is what it is.
Look, he's been on an island for himself for a while. And I was like, ooh, new people.
Yes.
Hello, this is how I greet you.
Hello, long lost family.
This is how we greet on Skywalker Island. I named it that because I live alone.
Believe it or not, I really like what they did with the character of Luke and explaining, how he kind of wanted to do his own Dagobah thing, but he knew not to go to Dagobah. Because Kylo Ren...
You become crazy and hit droids for food?
Yes, well that... And,
Mine!
That's
Yoda.
That and the First Order sending the stormtroopers there to comb Dagobah.
And Snoke was Palpatine's master all along, whose name I'm forgetting.
Cypher Dyas.
No, not that one. That was... Cypher Dyas. There was a typo in the script. That was supposed to be Christopher Lee's character originally, but there was a typo.
Oh.
They just rolled with it.
Oh, okay.
No, the guy he talked about in the opera scene.
Oh, Darth Plagueis.
Yeah. He was Plagueis all along.
Yes.
Boy, I have a terrible memory for that movie we just saw.
Well, remember, and it's explained well that Darth Plagueis figured out how to manipulate the midichlorians.
Which definitely work in this world.
Yes.
Good thing that science was explained.
Explain it away.
And cheers, of course, to Carrie Fisher.
Yes.
because I don't know if you know this, and you do at this point, she did film all of her scenes for episode 8.
She was in all of her scenes in episode 8.
Because they were done ahead of time.
Yes.
But, oh man, Star Wars. It's a good Christmas tradition, but you know what? It was a lot better than?
It was a lot better than Justice League.
That movie we just saw.
Oh.
So, Strike 5.
DC, come on.
How did you screw this up so badly?
Listen, isn't...
Why did you think Gilbert Gottfried was a good choice for Darkseid?
Okay, settle down. My problem with this is it's another origin story in a line of DCU origin stories.
But this was like 4 of them in one.
Give me some meat and potatoes, all right? Stop giving me the salad and give me the meat. I want something exciting to happen. Ben Affleck, again, though, crushed it as Batman. I love Ben Affleck as Batman.
It was weird that time that Superman smiled. I just wasn't used to it. It was like Henry Cavill's face like cracked open and cobwebs fell out. And a bat.
What do you think of the Flash? I liked some of the Flash stuff. I liked the interaction between the Flash and Batman.
I can't deal with Ezra Miller's hipster crap.
Although I feel like they're trying to copycat the Spider-Man Tony Stark dynamic from when we went and saw Spider-Man
all those months ago.
Yes, we'll talk about. Wait a minute. We already talked about
we have talked about it. God, this bit's gonna get old. Who said that?
It's the ghost of 2019 coming back to
I don't even know what direction does time flow. I don't even know anymore.
What do you think of the
Justice League? You had some promise, you had some flashy visuals, no pun intended, but ultimately you left me feeling hollow and empty. Unlike that movie we just saw like last week.
Oh, before we do that though, I wanted to ask your opinion. How do you think next week's real Hunger Games are gonna go?
No. Well, I heard China just launched some missiles.
Boy,
we'll see how long it takes for them to reach us. Hopefully not until after Star Wars, because I want to see that.
Oh, well, at least we can have Christmas time.
Maybe we shouldn't have pissed them off. But boy, you remember that time we saw Thor?
Oh, I do remember that time that we saw Thor.
There we go. Team up movie with Thor Ragnarok. We got Thor, we got Doctor Strange, which was announced that early week in 2017.
Yes.
And we also got the Hulk. The Hulk is kicking ass and taking names.
Playing Hulk was awesome. Marvel just keeps doing it.
He is the world breaker.
And you know what this does for me, though? It gives me a little bit of hope that maybe, when we go see Justice League, it might be able to compare.
I hope we live long enough to see Infinity War.
Yes.
We're getting up there in our late 20s and early 30s.
You know what Ragnarok means, right? It's the Norse belief of the end of the world.
No, that's fine.
Do you think that we're
the
Ragnarok?
They didn't follow the story that well. Chris Hemsworth continues to kill it. It's just speaking as a young man, it annoys me that he gets more attractive with every movie. Leave something for the rest of us. Damn it.
Okay, so
Tom Hiddleston, always good, continues to be great.
The cutscene at the end, okay, as we see Thanos put on the Infinity Gauntlet with all the stones in it, and that's just the last picture is him smiling and making the fist right in front of him. How cool was that? It was a nice payoff for what they've been trying to do.
And that scene of him practicing to snap, because in the Infinity Gauntlet he snaps and kills half the universe. He was just practicing his snapping.
Yeah,
that was my favorite. He isn't very good at it.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that scene in West Side Story. When they
when you're a Mad Titan, you're mad as
There we go.
I would not win a rap battle.
No, you would not win a rap battle. You don't think very well on your feet like that.
You know who also wouldn't win a rap battle? The movie we saw a few weeks ago.
Oh God.
Why did they? I thought Saw was done. What the hell?
Listen.
This was a tradition that look, the first one, awesome. I was kind of on board for.
Yeah.
Especially the ending. I didn't see that
where he gets up and there's a great twist ending. Then it just got dumb. It got dumber and how gory can we be? How
how far
can we push the envelope?
I don't care for that. It's not pleasant.
I mean, they've had several legitimate outs for the franchise.
Why do we see this? There's not even a comic book tie-in.
But again, you were like, "Oh, here, let me treat you to a movie." I'm
Ooh,
like, "Oh,
Halloween.
cool. Yeah,
Let's go see something on Halloween.
yeah.
Cause
As a late birthday present to me, you're like, "I want to treat you to the movies." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we can do this because we had some extra money left over from our Patreon."
Too bad I had to decrease the value of it.
Well, it's not your fault that
damn
the
it.
dollar went through the friggin' basement.
Saw Legacy, why do you exist? But, you know, I guess at least you're a sequel compared to that reboot we just saw. Look, you screwed this up with the 11th movie. You should have just kept it going. You were almost there. You just had 3 movies to go. You've made 10. Do you need to worry about rebooting it at 11? Friday the 13th, what the hell? We are 1 movie away from 13, but we are no longer in a good friggin' world. I mean, you even could have counted Freddy vs. Jason. Call that 11. You were even a step closer. God, after Jason X, though, I mean, after, like, the dominatrix sex robots in space.
So I know we've been calling this month G Cubed, Ghosts, Ghouls, and Goblins. I'm going to add a 4th G. Ghosts, Ghouls, Goblins, and God damn it, why did you do this? Come on. I don't like scary movies to begin with. I don't like the jumpy movies, but this just... You're beating a dead horse. We've talked about this. We talked about this all last year. Yeah, everything old becomes new again, but you don't need to keep... I mean, just let Freddy be. Let Jason be.
This is Jason. It was a stroke of genius to bring Kevin Bacon back again in a quick cameo just to be killed, like he was back in the day, with the amazing special effects works of Tom Savini. But this was no good because he just fell over.
No, but you know what? I think the problem is we were set up to be disappointed by the next movie because of what we saw recently.
They were all replicants all along. Who knew?
Oh my goodness.
Harrison Ford was a replicant. Ryan Gosling was a replicant. The car was a replicant. It turns out all the humans are dead and we never knew. What a twist.
It was like... It reminded me of like... It made me feel like, is this what it felt like when people watched Planet of the Apes for the first time? And it was like that flip at the end, like, oh my God, they're on Earth? Like the whole time, they're all replicants. Go figure.
Except Harrison Ford did have that very strong line. Fuck you. Fuck you all to hell.
That's a good point.
Where's my check?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you should have edited that scene better.
Well, they wanted to make it very realistic.
But you know what, Blade Runner, one of the highlights of the year, obviously we're totally detached from the Philip K. Dick novel, which didn't have a sequel. But, you know, given the time in between, I also hear the production was a lot smoother than the first one. But this was a breath of fresh air.
Oh, it was everything I want my science fiction to be.
Compared to that last movie we saw.
Oh, geez, why? Listen, if there was an emoji to describe how I feel about that movie...
There's a middle finger one, isn't there?
There's a middle finger, there's a big pile of turd.
I know, but I got so sick of the poop jokes. Yeah, I get it. There's a poop emoji.
I also, it just... I don't know. Maybe it doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah, look, I get it. The Lego movie worked. That doesn't mean everything works. This movie, I can't even call it what I want to call it because I'm afraid to give in to the emojis. This is a piece of exploded zit. This is the pus that comes out of your body when you pop a zit. That's what this is. I can't even call you a piece of shit because you ruined pieces of shit. You fucking pop zit.
Well, you know what I enjoy is that...
I gotta bleep so much of this.
Through the years, you stay constant with your anger towards bad movies. And I feel like...
I thought you were gonna say towards technology and emojis, because I hate those too.
There were so many good movies, and then we've like there's been no middle ground. There's been no movie that's like, I need a second watching to really kind of get how I feel. It's either yes or no. And this, it's just like, I don't understand the appeal of like just making movies about things like this.
God, I hope we die before the Pez movie comes out in 2018.
Oh, well,
that's real, by the way. That's not a joke.
You know what?
F this movie.
You know what? If Harambe was still alive, this wouldn't be happening.
Oh, but his child did become that diplomat.
That's a good point.
Has the joke run stale yet? Nope. I say it hasn't. I say this is going on for another half hour.
Oh, boy.
But at least, you know what? Last week was a nice little thing.
I did enjoy last week.
Idris Elba, man. He can do no wrong.
Oh, Idris Elba. But you know...
In The Dark Tower. I mean, yeah, I know that he can't be a honky anymore. as Susanna called him in all those books. But whatever, I don't care. Idris Elba, man, he's the best.
But as much as you talk about Idris Elba and how he did as the gunslinger, you know who was really, really good in this? Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Oh,
Wait, I didn't do a good McConaughey. I gotta slow it down.
you gotta slow it down.
You have to pretend like you're half asleep to do a good McConaughey. Like, all right.
You ever hear the story about that?
No.
So he's sitting in the car getting ready to do that cut, and he's like, what's this character all about? Well, he likes 3 things. He likes cars, he likes his weed, and he likes girls. So he's sitting in his car, he's high, and there are girls. All right. And that was the genesis of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's good seeing a sequel to Dark Tower in its own right. It's weird seeing those kind of minor characters pushed to the forefront. I mean, I rather would have seen Eddie. I mean, he was nowhere to be seen, but seeing Jake at least is a bit. But we still got more movies to go to retell this. The real question in the sequels, will they go into Maine to find Stephen King again?
Okay, here's my question for you. You being a big...
That happened in the book. They went to Maine, and then that's how he got into his car accident.
Yes.
So those damn characters.
Yeah, you've told that story a couple of times.
Well,
But
it's interesting.
It's a good story. My question for you, as it was last week on the podcast, getting ready to go see this movie, you're a big Stephen King fan, and we've talked about sometimes Stephen King books and novellas don't always translate to the big screen. Other times they do, and it's huge and it's great. Like, for instance...
We saw It earlier that year, but never did a podcast about.
Yes. But, like, movies like It, I would say is a good one that translates. But, like, even bigger, that just they're great books, but they also translate well to the screen.
Oh, we should have done It. Do you know why?
Why?
The TV movie, they cut this out, and I'm not making this up. If you've read the book, the TV movie, and the new one that we saw recently, relatively accurate, except they cut out the scene where, like, 6 guys all have sex with the one girl to get the courage to beat down the evil spider clown.
Okay, well...
They just have a bunch of group sex at the end. They're ready to defeat the evil. It's a weird scene. Like, we're all childhood friends. We just all have to have sex together. Again, not a joke. That's real. That happened. Well, it's not real. It's a book, but it happened in the book.
So, okay, kind of answer my question. I want to say my question. So, movies like Shawshank, Green Mile, they translated very well from book to film, and the films are outstanding. Would you put that in the same? Would you put Dark Tower in the same category as Shawshank and Green Mile?
It's a different flick. I mean, those are dramas. This is an adventure. I mean, they're not shooting with their hearts in Shawshank.
Yeah, but would you put it in that same, like, this is a great Stephen King movie?
I'd probably rather we watch this. This has some excitability to it. I'm not watching Green Mile to feel good about life.
No, but it's a good movie. It's one of those that's on TV. I find it hard to turn off. But in the Shawshank, or are you gonna stay with it's a different movie line?
Yeah, it's different mood, different movie. You can't. It's like apples and oranges. One of them's a citrus, and one of them's whatever an apple is.
Well, it's a shame that we're not gonna have many oranges next year because of the global warming.
I know, that is too bad that we've lost all the crops.
Yeah, well,
I miss bok choy. I know it's a weird thing to miss, but I do.
I'm just hoping that the wheat and the barley and the hops.
I know.
This beer is...
It's a good thing you finally upgraded from Bud Light.
Ever since they went out of business, I had to go to Coors.
I know, ever since international trade plummeted.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm just glad that Yuengling can be sold in Maine now.
But at least we had a few decent weeks. We had a break from that other thing. Oh, man, I don't want to talk about that again. But hey, Spider-Man.
Oh,
Remember when we saw Spider-Man?
I can't forget.
No, that was a pause, not a high five.
Oh.
Oh, you know what we saw this week?
Oh, thank God. I've been waiting, and I was not disappointed.
Patented review system, see it in theaters, Redbox it. Don't waste your time. See it in theaters, and then leave $5 on the ground just to make the movie feel good about itself.
Oh, it's such a good... It was what I wanted Spider-Man to be. It reminded me some of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man stuff, but it was fresh. It was exciting. It's the Peter Parker we've wanted.
Sure, it was great that I was accurate about everything that I predicted in my trailer breakdown.
Yes, I can't believe that you got it all right.
100%.
Including that it was the Staten Island Ferry.
I know. Good thing I didn't say it on the side.
How cool was that shot? And can we also please just appreciate...
The Keats?
Oh my goodness.
It's his new name now, the Keats.
The Keats.
He's hip and with it now. I'm calling him the Keats.
But I mean,
Mr. Mom No More.
can we please talk about 2?
I hope, did someone get that Spider-Man joke? Someone get that joke. It wasn't very funny, but it's there. It's a reference.
Yeah, have at it.
It's like people just dropping superhero references into things and making them think they're actually good. Looking at you, Doctor Who Christmas Special 2016, you piece of crap.
Oh, wow.
It was awful.
How do you really feel about that?
Look, it's been like 7 months and I'm still pissed at how bad it was. You can't just say a thing, and just referencing something broadly doesn't make it compelling or good.
How surprised and excited were you that J.K. Simmons was back as J. Jonah Jameson?
Look, you can't outdo that casting. It's the perfect.
Oh, he is right.
It's the most perfect casting of all time.
Oh, he's just he makes me laugh. I love that character and the way that he portrays that character.
I thought it was really sad when he was slapping Peter in the face, asking him if he was rushing or dragging.
Are you
Like, what does
rushing?
this even mean? I'm a photographer. He's like, I don't care.
You're confusing your movies there, Zach.
Nope, it was in there.
Oh boy.
And then Tom Holland became British again.
Yeah, his accent.
He
spilled
dropped.
out.
He's like, why? Why is no one calling cut? Why aren't we fixing this in post? Like, how do you know they didn't fix it?
What about the secret villain reveal though of Green Goblin?
I've had enough of that.
You don't like the Green Goblin?
I've had enough.
I thought it was a
of him.
decent Green Goblin.
But man, Spider-Man. Fun, good summer movie. It's going to stand the test of time. It's nice that Marvel has their flagship character back. And, anything is good compared to last week. God, I hope we don't live to see 2018, because I can't stand to see another one of these pieces of crap. Transformers, man, what the hell? Why did we pay to see this?
Well, it's because we won those free movie passes
Oh,
at
yeah.
Trivia Night. So, which, believe it or not, I didn't think that you would know the answer to that winning trivia question.
Yeah, and who knew that Kelly Clarkson was one of the writers on the 1990 Little Rugrats movie?
Oh, well, there you go. See, and you knew that, and because of that, we got.
That made no sense. No sense. I just pulled words out of nothing.
Well, that's usually how the show goes.
These make some kind of sense. That was nothing. Kelly, what?
How in the world did you know the gross domestic product of Bolivia as the tie-breaking question in our trivia?
I take a lot of eye drops from there.
Oh, okay. Or you just like, it was a pretty good guess. Well, now that we are not the world's number one economy anymore.
Really? Not the world's number one podcast. I'm like, I know, we had that sweet 2 weeks. We were riding high on the iTunes charts.
Well,
Thank God everyone shared this with their friends and liked and subscribed.
And reviewed.
And also reviewed it. I mean, God, that helped so much. They didn't think it did, but it really helped boost the numbers. We did that terrible clip show that everyone unsubscribed for, but...
Well, that was months ago. That was 6 months ago, and it was a decent experiment at the time, but as it dragged on, we realized that we were going way too far down the rabbit hole.
And there was no turning back. And that joke died so early on. But Transformers, it was really weird that Hitler made them, and I hate these movies.
Michael Bay, I'm just glad that he is now our Secretary of Defense.
Oh, no.
Because he knows all about explosions.
Oh, God.
He's going to make a great Secretary of Defense. You see his movies, there's tons of explosions.
Yeah, if anyone has a boner for the military.
It's Michael Bay.
Ah.
It's Arlie Emery.
But still, too bad about Strike 4 a few weeks ago for DC.
Oh.
Here we are, reviewing 2017's Wonder Woman, female-directed, female-led, and all-around crapped on by males and females. We all hated this movie. We thought the trailers looked good, but man, DC cannot pull themselves out of the gutter.
No, they're in a downward spiral. They're trying too much to be like Marvel, and it shows. And that's like the disappointing part.
You know what was really fun at the end? That giant blue light shooting into the sky like every other damn movie, and also the big CG fight that looked nothing like real people.
Yeah, I thought Chris...
Oh boy.
What about Chris Pine's death in this movie, though?
I thought it was a little gratuitous that they showed his head being cut off, but, what are you going to do? Wonder Woman went for a hard R, and I respect that.
Yes.
No one's going to like this but us.
Oh, this is when the podcast dies.
Slowly. Gal Gadot's still good. Or really the first time we've seen her do anything, because what, she had like 5 lines of Batman v Superman. She looks the part. She still needs to grow as an actress. Patty Jenkins ultimately kind of dropped the ball. It looks like those rumors about it being kind of a mess were true.
Again, like, I don't want this movie to get a bad rap because of the heavy female presence, and that's what people are going to say, and I don't think that's fair.
It looks like that no one made the donuts, if you remember that letter from many months ago that we talked about.
Oh, that's good. Yes.
No one was making donuts here.
I'm glad that we're finally getting more letters to the editor that aren't hate mail. Remember that really bad clip show you guys did to kick off the new year? I'm glad you're back to the regular stuff that you guys do so well.
Like, look, you have a format, stick to it. Predictability, assholes. You know what was predictable? That movie we saw the other week.
Oh, yeah. I remember that just like it was yesterday.
Stop giving Johnny Depp chances. It's
get
done.
If I had...
What is this? Pirate of the Caribbean 17? Gah. Hate him. Hate this movie. Hate all of you.
It's not the fun swashbuckling adventure it used to be. But you know what? If you if you had to take a shot of rum every time something ridiculous and they just out of control happened in this movie, you would be puking all over yourself in the theater and have to be dragged out.
God, I hate these movies. But you know what?
What?
Last week was so good. It gave me a lot of hope for this year.
Oh, yes. Last week was fantastic.
Chris Pratt, national treasure.
Oh, he's killing it on all fronts. Killing it on all fronts.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 continues the trend of amazing Marvel movies.
Oh.
In this movie, they did not lose the tone. They did not lose the feel. I thought you just got that sense of wonderment and amazement. James Gunn, amazing director. I can't wait to see the next one. I hope we live that long.
Oh, but it advanced the story. We got new characters. Dave Bautista as Drax continues to be my favorite character in this
Dave
franchise.
Bautista could act. Who knew?
Oh, my goodness.
But man, I mean, his character is totally different from the last time, but I like that. I like that the characters grow. I like that they change. I like that they built on what was there.
Can we talk about how awesome Baby Groot was in this?
Except for that weird, 15-minute gratuitous sex scene that he was in with the other plants. Yeah, that was good.
Hey,
that actually pulled me out a little bit.
Listen, it was a Ferngully crossover they're trying to set up. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is going for that hard R. I wish more movies would do that.
Not enough do.
Yes.
I wish someone would have the cojones to just go hard R.
To just say, listen, I'm going to tell the story I want to tell. Because at this point, what has anyone got to lose?
But, man, we've had a few good weeks. I mean, last week, do you remember last week?
Oh, last week?
It was just like it was yesterday. Kong, baby. Kong is back.
I don't think I've ever seen a grown man weep in the theater like I saw you weep. You had tears. You had tears streaming down your face from that opening credit where it was just, boom, Skull Island.
Yeah, right from that inception. Wow.
Yes. They flirted with trying to get a hard R in this, but they stayed PG-13, which I really appreciated.
I know. You really can't get away with that in these summer-going movies.
No, they've got to be family-friendly, and you know what? Trying to reflect the times here, a little summer hopefulness. Although John Goodman was outstanding in this movie, I thought.
It's too bad Samuel L. Jackson... I guess that's a good thing. That Samuel L. Jackson has been now eaten by a monkey, a dinosaur, and a shark.
But, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson was phenomenal in this movie. Phenomenal. It was like, there was the good, typical Samuel. I'd like to see him in an action movie where he makes it the whole way.
He's made it the whole way,
Oh, Pulp Fiction, yeah, I guess. What else?
Every Marvel movie.
Oh, yeah, good point. He almost died. He faked his death.
Yeah, he did do that
There
at
you
one
go.
time. Oh, but Kong. I love the creature design. I love the dinosaurs. I love that we're being set up for a bigger world.
Oh, the fight between the T-Rex and Kong at the end.
Was that King Ghidorah I saw in the background? Are we teasing some Godzilla stuff? I think we are.
Ooh, yes.
Because I need a 3-headed flying dragon in this world.
We need a lot in this world right now.
But you know what? Kong Skull Island, at least that movie made me happy. Unlike last week's movie. Is this old yet? Unlike last week's movie. Why do they call it T2?
I don't know.
Look, there's already been a movie called T2.
Now, here's my question. Now, would you rather watch this, or would you rather watch Terminator Genesis?
Comparing T2 to TG.
Yeah. So
Look, Trainspotting is an uncomfortable movie. I only watched it once. That's one of those movies where I'm like, well, that was good, not a fun time. I don't need to see it again. It's like watching you ever see Requiem for a Dream?
yes.
Yeah, it was like watching that, except again.
But I mean, Trainspotting, Ewan McGregor was really, really good at. But Trainspotting is not supposed to. It's about a heroin addict.
Yeah, and
So-
I wasn't doing heroin. Now I'm still not gonna go do it.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be
mean,
like. Again, this isn't a movie that
It's
you.
no crocodile.
No, it's not. But again, it's not a movie that like you go to see to like be. We're kind of in like a string of like movies that are kind of make you leave the theater going, huh, I don't feel so happy anymore.
I know. So I mean, well, unlike that movie we saw, there was no note to open this. Unlike that movie we saw last week, which at least ended with the idea of a positive future
Yeah, there was that little glimmer of hope at the end of it. But
with that little girl.
what an emotional roller coaster that was.
So as much as I'd like to say this is the end of the X-Men movies, it's not.
Well,
Look, we still got New Mutants coming. We got more Deadpool coming. Who the hell knows if there's going to be like a 1990s X-Men movie. But you know what? By itself, Logan stands on its own two legs until Hugh Jackman falls off them and dies at the end. Spoiler alert.
well, they had to end the character arc at some point.
I mean, at least Patty S made it through.
Yes.
That's what I call him now, Patty S.
Patty S.
Patty Stew.
Sir Patrick Stew. That's his.
Sir Patty Stew.
No, but I like like you said, the hopefulness at the end
I mean-
with X-23 and Xavier kind of going off.
Because I mean, there's no way that they were going to off Xavier and Wolverine. That'd be a little much.
Well,
yeah?
they tried to off Xavier once already when Jean Grey disintegrated him.
Yeah, and then he went into the unconscious body of his twin, but I'd also like to note that in the books, his twin is a lady.
Well,
And when he came back in the next movie with no explanation, he was no Cassandra Nova.
no.
How many people did I just lose?
Well, if there's anybody
Quite
still,
a few.
if there's anybody still listening to this point of the podcast,
Which is 3. Congratulations, you've made it.
there may be a secret sale word at the end of this podcast.
God, our subscription numbers just plummeted.
Well,
We're doing pretty good. No, we're not.
hey, much like the world may end up being here later this year. Oh, we're doing pretty good. I guess not.
Logan stands as a grounded movie, not always the most interesting thing within comic book movies, but still stands alone as a pretty decent movie. I would like to see them scrap this whole X-Men universe and go for more of a fun X-Men feel. I want to see these guys go to space. I want to meet the Starjammers. I want to meet Lilandra and that race that I'm blanking on the name of. I'll get there. I'm just going to keep on talking until I do. They are the Shi'ar. Got there.
Oh, wow.
Had to walk around that a little bit.
Took a little bit of work there to find it, but you did.
I'd like to see the Brood. I'd like to see like fun space adventures. I'd love to see the X-Men adventuring. I'd like to see them in colorful costumes. That's the point.
And like fighting and like, the X-Men to me aren't like, it shouldn't be like this big sweeping narrative about like current times, and I want to go on fantastic adventures.
Good thing that Marvel got those rights back to the Fantastic Four.
Oh.
Maybe we'll see that now. But you know what? It was kind of a rough start at the beginning of the year because we had to see that movie. Why did we see 50 Shades Darker?
You promised
There
me.
is nothing in the theaters right now. My God, what a boring beginning to this year.
You're like, hey, want to go see something that'll give you a good time? I'm like, I'm concerned that you would phrase it that way, but sure. And then you take me to 50 Shades Darker, and I really don't have anything to say about it. It's not my cup of
How
tea.
many shades of gray are there? What, are we up to 100 now?
Well,
I hate this movie. I hate everything it's about. Why was there a butt plug in that jet ski scene? I didn't read the book. Apparently that's a thing that happens. To the best of my knowledge, I'm not making that up.
I've never been on a jet ski, nor have I ever
I was
had a
gonna
butt
say,
plug
what
inside
about
of me.
just the jet? I've never been on a jet ski. Pause. What a terrible movie. But you know what?
They went for the soft R here.
Soft off.
I thought that they may have they may have pushed the boundaries of the soft R with the jet ski butt plug scene, but it was tastefully done.
But you know what? At least this movie believed in physics, unlike that first movie we saw this year.
Oh, come on, it's the best movie
Which
we
also,
saw all year long.
yeah, so far it is the best movie we've seen, somehow with a more pornographic title. Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage. What a piece of crap.
Oh, come on.
This isn't even, there's
No,
no
stop it.
fun to be had
Stop
here.
it. It's Triple X. Listen, if you go into a Triple X Xander Cage, if you're going to a movie, okay, like this, you're not going to get character development. You're going to go see shit blown up.
I at least
and
want to
crazy...
see like potential physics. A man skied down a mountain slope with no snow and then through a jungle. You ski? Can you ski through a jungle?
Depends on
No, it depends on nothing. But you know what? I will give this movie absolute credit on one front. This is the movie that is impossible to pirate. I dare you to try and pirate a movie called Triple X. You're not finding that movie anywhere.
You'll find a movie that says Triple X in it.
You're not
maybe
finding...
like the movie we're gonna go see next week.
Yeah, I will give Triple X all the credit for being unstealable.
Well, and you also feel it's unwatchable, but I enjoy popcorn action movies like this, like The Expendables, like Machete. Okay, this is not a movie that you go to and you're expecting again massive character development. It's Vin Diesel. He gets drunk on wine and goes on diatribes on Twitter.
He
all right,
does.
And he's also in, people are like, oh, it's similar to the Fast and the Furious stuff. It's just a different title. Listen, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, those at least have The Rock.
It gives. Yeah, that's a very good point. Excited to go see Baywatch later this year, by the way.
That does look funny.
It does look funny. But I will say this about this movie. It gives me hope that there's nowhere to go but up this year.
It's true. We've really started at the bottom. Now we're here. And then we're going to go over there.
Sounds good to me.
To the top. Because you know what? At least I bet by the end of the year, Star Wars will be pretty good.
Yes!
I know. We finally get to find out what's up with Rey. I hope.
Listen, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that we also get to learn who Snoke is.
We could. Maybe that's a tease for the end. Maybe that's how they cut at the credits. They're like, and Snoke is...
Time for the news!
Well, no, not time for the news. Do you remember that news we had the other week that was all about Episode 8?
Oh, yeah, there was a really some good stuff last week coming out of the new year.
Huh. I wonder what that news was like.
I remember it just like it was last week.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Did you know that Carrie Fisher has completed all of her scenes for Episode 8?
Are we actually in the news now?
Yeah, we're actually in the news now.
Yes, I saw that. By the way, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Looking forward to joyous and prosperous 2017.
Kind of a real note. I got a little annoyed that this news came out because it hit like right after her death. I'm like,
it's like that. Why is that the number one concern?
It doesn't matter right now. Like the family is grieving. Like she's not even cold yet. They're like, don't worry about Star Wars. Like I'm not. I'm not that worried about Star Wars. Like
there are the people that are like, oh my god, what are they about Star Wars? Listen, there are smart people that work in Hollywood, believe it or not.
They'll
figure it out.
It doesn't matter. It's so far away right now still. It's not like they got to scramble within 2 weeks. They have a year.
Well, I mean...
or they have a year or 3.
Well, look back to...
Rouge 1?
No, the last Hunger Games movie when Philip Seymour Hoffman died.
Yeah.
Most of his stuff was in the can, but what wasn't, they were able to generate and make happen and script doctor and work around. It's not...
I mean, on one hand, like that's good, but when I saw that it was news, I was like, Jesus.
It's not news. It shouldn't
really,
shouldn't be news for weeks.
Yeah, the movie will stand on its own 2 feet. It's not like that's gonna they'll be like, well, no more Star Wars. They'll find a way to work around.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be that way.
Don't be that guy.
Speaking of Star Wars,
yes,
Rogue One is the 3rd highest domestic film of 2016.
Let's see. What were the other one? Was probably a Marvel film in there.
Yep.
So I'm going to say it was the Captain America film.
Yep, Civil War.
And the number 1 film of 20... Was that the number 1 film?
Yeah, so far.
The number 2 film. The number 2 film is probably going to be one of the DC films.
Nope.
Is it another
Someone
Marvel film?
just kept swimming.
Oh, Finding Dory.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, domestically, it's the 3rd highest film of the year. Worldwide, it has made $790 million.
not surprising.
This
It'll
is
break
gonna
a billion.
this is gonna beat Batman v Superman.
Yeah, and rightfully so, because this is a
As
far
well.
superior movie.
But this was like one Disney's like, we're taking kind of a gamble. You're gonna make over $1 billion just on the movie, not even including all of the merchandising.
Oh,
this is nuts.
I mean, this is a license to print. Listen, what did Disney pay for Lucasfilms again?
4-point-something billion. They
It's-
made their money back with Rogue One. That made enough. Just the movie, not count, was well over $1
You
billion.
mean Force Awakens?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Force
Yeah.
Awakens made that money back. The movie didn't make $4 billion because no movie's ever made $4 billion. But between that and DVD sales and the fact that they didn't have to pay for advertising and
Oh,
then
no,
all the
it's-
merchandising, they made $4 billion back easy by now. Now at this point, they're just counting their money all the way to the Mickey Mouse shaped bank.
What do you think George Lucas thinks or feels?
Supposedly he liked this one, but I'm not sure if that's real because he said he wasn't big on Force Awakens and got a huge backlash. But that's also probably because he compared Disney to the white slave owners.
Yes.
So, bad call, George.
Well-
This one he's like, I liked it pretty good.
Well, I mean, he was getting ready, and I had seen some articles that he was getting ready and thinking, and he had story treatments for 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, I mean, that had
And-
been going on forever.
And that's what he gave them to Kathleen Kennedy, who's the head of Lucasfilm.
And then she promptly lit them on fire.
Yes.
It's like, no one will ever know.
Well, because he wanted to focus again on younger.
I'm going to say this now.
Yes.
What we will see in the future, and I can almost guarantee this is a thing. I'm not going to say when, but it will happen. Probably after episode 9 comes out. Because we saw his original treatments for 4, 5, and 6 in comic book form. We will see his treatments for 7, 8, and 9 in comic book form.
Yeah. But they won't be canon.
No, they won't be. And they never were when they came out. It was just more of a, hey, here's a weird thing. Han Solo was a lizard?
It's true. So it's, the stories
But
of Luke Skykiller from the annals of, or the chronicles of.
The Wills or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But I bet we'll see his treatments eventually. Like I said, it's just a guess. Also, when that happened, that was still when Star Wars was under the Dark Horse title, but why not? I mean, they'll make money. It's not like it's going to cost them all that much to do, so why not do it? Why not give people that curiosity?
Yeah. You know what I'd like to see? Some Boba Fett.
Well, that was supposed to happen. We talked about this.
It's supposed to be a Boba Fett movie.
Yeah, Josh Trank was supposed to do it, and then he ruined his career.
Oh, well. Maybe we could write the Boba Fett movie.
But rumor has it actually sounded kind of interesting. Because, how, Boba Fett was ruined by episode 2 and he was supposed to be grown up.
Yes.
I guess what he was going to do is he was going to have Michael B. Jordan be Boba Fett, but he was going to be, he was going to kill the clone and just take over the mantle.
Oh.
Which would be way more interesting than watching that, same little kid grow up, because that kid sucked.
Yes.
Sorry, kid, it's not your fault.
No.
It's George's fault. Came out this week.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange will be in Thor. I mean, at this point, we basically knew it. In some leaked set photos, we saw that Thor was going to his apartment, or not his apartment, the Sanctum Sanctorum, and we also got that post-credit scene.
A nice little brownstone in Queens.
But yeah, it was officially confirmed that Doctor Strange is going to be in Thor. I think this is a smart move, because you got to be building towards Infinity War. And at this point, some of the characters within there, you got to saturate these movies with them so that people get to know who they are and how they're going to interact with others. Because it'd be weird if they're just like, here's Doctor Strange. It's like, hey guys, thought you might need my help. Who the hell is this guy?
You know what I like where they're going from, especially with the cutscene, is Doctor Strange knows what's going on elsewhere. He's he knows of all these things. So it's not like we're not going to spend any time on wasted on him learning, as a recap for exposition. He's just going to know, which I like. Just drive the story forward.
Here's a story that came out, and I think it's an absolute load of crap. And I will explain why I think it's that once I tell you what it is.
What is that?
Now that I've totally buried the lead on not that bit of exciting news. Affleck says he will not direct the Batman movie if the script isn't great.
So the script had better be good. Do you think he'd script doctor it?
Well, here's the thing. This story is it's garbage. Because if Affleck doesn't direct it, someone else will. He's still under contract. There's no way he's not in this movie. And why not take creative control? He also says he won't do it if the script isn't great. He's co-writing the script, and if he's the director, he has control over the final cut. This is just a way to be like, I won't do it if it's it's just trying to build it up. I read this, I'm like, shut up, Affleck. You're definitely doing it. If you don't do it, someone else will, and you'll still be Batman. but you'll do it in a movie you don't have control over, and you clearly like being in control.
But the other thing is, I think he's tired of like this concept or thought or perception, accurate or not, mostly accurate, that the DC movies are not good. And
No, but
he's trying to help turn the ship a little bit.
He also said in the same story, like, the reason he took this movie is, like, his kids, like, they think that he's Batman, and that's exciting to him, that, like, he gets to be this hero for his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Which, good reason to take the role. Like, he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need Batman. He can do this, like, one way or the other. But to say that he won't do it if the script isn't great it's so pandering. It's a bunch of crap. I don't buy this for a second. He's definitely going to direct it, because if he doesn't, someone else will, and he's also in charge of the friggin' script.
Yes.
Shut up.
Do you
Say
think-
something real.
Do you think he brings Damon in to help him?
No.
Do you think they still talk? Do you think they're still
Oh, yeah,
friends?
no, they're still buds.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was just making sure.
They're still the very best friends that ever was.
Yes. They did a really cool thing with Tom Brady. There's a big...
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
When Matt Damon had his weird long hair.
Yes. For, what movie was that for? That was for,
The Great Wall.
yes.
That movie that's coming out in a couple of months that has no or barely any Asian people in it.
Oh, well. Sorry.
Last bit of news.
News.
Deadpool. It was rumored that he had a cameo or a post-credit scene in Logan. Everyone has basically jumped on and said, that's not happening. This character doesn't fit in this movie.
Yes.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's a different tone.
Ryan Reynolds said it on his Twitter.
Everyone said
Everyone
it
said
on
it
Twitter.
their Twitter, yeah. It makes sense. There's no...
Yeah, I don't think Deadpool fits in this movie, not this world, not the way they're selling it.
No, because he breaks the fourth wall all the time, which I love. That's a movie. You know what I wish movies did? I wish they went after that hard R.
Like Deadpool did. Be like Deadpool movies.
I think that, in the coming year, maybe we'll talk about movies that go for the hard R.
Jesus. That'll do it for this week. We've kind of already plugged. Thanks for coming out for this weird experiment. How long do we go? Oh, this is a short show too.
Is it? What's the timestamp?
I don't. Well, I'll end up cutting a bit.
Oh.
So wow, this is gonna be a short one. Not our shortest, but not our longest.
Well, do we have any letters to the editor?
Well, no, because I tried to plan it all backwards, and we can't go from news into letters. It didn't. The flow didn't work. I chose to skip it, but we did get a couple this week, which I appreciate.
Oh.
If you have more letters, you can send them in.
So if you haven't picked up, we did the show in reverse.
Sorry if it wasn't funny. I just thought we'd switch it up for a change.
Well, really, what happened is our time schedule got thrown off.
Well, if you want the real peek behind the curtain, so the original, if I'm being honest, the original plan was we were going to do best of 2016 and do a little preview of 2017. But then, with Carrie Fisher passing, I split it into 2 shows, and the reality is between Christmas and New Year's, I didn't have time to prep something that had a new topic on it. So.
Really, what this is we're gonna look back on this at some point.
Yeah, that's
and
kind of
laugh.
the fun, is see if, and hopefully
as
some
the
of
last
predictions-
moments of our lives at the end of 2017.
But yeah, thanks for coming out. Next week we'll be back. We sticking with at least a little bit of a theme. I know we didn't do the holiday special, but I want to stick with some bad Star Wars for a little bit. So next week we'll be back with the prequel trilogy. They can't see you raise your eyebrows.
Oh,
That's a microphone.
oh, the force is strong with this one.
We'll be back this week. Thanks for coming out for this weird little experiment.
Best part of the prequels was Ewan McGregor.
Look, don't we gotta talk about those next week.
Oh, okay.
We'll be back. Thanks for coming out. Have a good week.